Good morning. Today is Saturday, August 3rd. It's kind of sunny. See? The sun's kind of following me around. We don't have any birthdays or anniversaries today. We're on our way to the meeting and I'm hoping for a pound. I'd like a little bit more than a pound, but I'll settle for a pound. I'm not going to be greedy. But Jimmy and David are coming over to help Jim put the ceiling in the basement today. We'll see how that turns out. Jimmy's 46. I know I still call him Jimmy. I always hated when Jim's mother called him Jimmy. I'm thinking, he's a grown-ass man and you're still calling him Jimmy. I call Jimmy Jimmy. Jimmy's friends call him Jimmy, so it's just, well, Jimmy Stewart, Jimmy Fallon. There's a lot of Jimmys out there. Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Cricket. I hated Jimmy Cricket. Well, they got it fixed. There was I forgot about that when I started coming this way. There was an electrical line down there across the thing yesterday. It doesn't look like a really good repair job, but maybe it's just a temporary one. But anyway, so like I said, he's 46 years old. He's been a carpenter now. Oh, look at you kind of skew on me. How did that happen? I didn't even see you fall. I apologize. I wasn't paying attention to you. I was paying attention to the road. He's been a carpenter now maybe 25 years, 20 years, I guess. It's been a while. But anyway, Jim was a sprinkler fitter. Jim has no training in carpentry yet. I can hear the battles going on already because Jim seems to know that he knows more than Jimmy, whose profession is carpentry. And so they always have their battles, but at least Jimmy stands his ground and kind of stands up to his dad. I mean, with respect, but, you know, he just lets him know. But poor David's not going to know any better because he's just starting out. So he's going to have to put up with the wrath of Papa because Papa thinks he knows. Jim knows a lot, don't get me wrong. Jim can do a lot, but he's, I don't know why you guys keep losing me. I don't know what's going on with you guys. I know now you're even more crooked. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I can't figure it out. But anyway, say my kids would be mad. Why are you fussing with that and you're not paying attention? So anyway, Jimmy's always been a challenge. I love Jimmy with all my heart, but he's always been a challenge his whole life. He's always been, he always listens to his own, goes to his own drum beat. He's always done that his whole life. And I can sort of relate somewhat with people that leave their kids in hot cars. I could never leave my kid in a hot car. I don't understand how that happens. I really, truly don't. But I can see that you could lose a child because I've lost Jimmy more than once. One time we were in a fruit market and I turned around just for a hot minute and he was gone. And we had to close the store up to look for him. And he was in underneath the racks they had barrels that were crates or whatever that they kept apples, and he wanted an apple and I told him he couldn't have the apple till we paid for it. And he was probably 4, 5 maybe, and he was sitting in the in an apple barrel eating the apples. Jimmy. Another time we were at Sears at Macomb Mall, and he wanted to play hide and go seek, and I said no. And then we were trying things on because we didn't want to go in the dressing room. We were just trying them on, like over his clothes. And turn around, he's gone. Couldn't find him. Security was called. We looked everywhere. Closed up the store, and we found him. And he was hiding under a circle rack. We used to call those racks that were around us a circle rack. And he was hiding under the circle rack. It's like, Jimmy. And then when he started kindergarten, if you wouldn't keep your hands to yourself, like if you're always taking other people's stuff or pushing them or hitting them, because Jimmy always did that for attention. Jimmy they didn't diagnose it back then, but he did have ADD. He still has a little touch of it right now. But and if you were bad, you had to wear men's gloves. And Jimmy would come home being so proud that he was the only one in the class that day that got to wear the gloves. I kept saying, Jimmy, this is not something we want to strive for. It's just not something we want to strive for. And it's just, I don't know. He's always been, when he was 11, I could go on and on about Jimmy. I mean, I love him. It was like, and he was my first, and I still had 2 more. I actually had 3 pregnancies after that, but I still had 2 more children after Jimmy. And Jimmy, I had 5 years before I had another one. It was like I had my clue. But we were up in Croswell, Michigan, and he was running through a store, and I kept telling him to stop running, and I went to grab the back of his hooded sweatshirt and kind of give him a motherly yank. You know what those kind of yanks are. To pull him in, to rein him in. And he jerked away from it, came out of his jacket, and went into a hook where you hang, like socks are hung. Hit the top of his head, went right up his head, split his whole head open. And he fell to the floor and he grabbed his head. Well, anybody knows that if you put pressure on a wound, it stops bleeding. But what happens when you take your hand away, especially a head wound, the blood gushes. And so I said to him, there's nothing wrong with you. Get up off the floor, because he was crying because he was hurt. And I was just so mad and so embarrassed. And it was like, you're causing a commotion in this store. And he got up, let go of his hand, and the blood just, like a waterfall, splurt everywhere. And then everybody looks at me like, what a mom. So we had to put pressure on it. And since it's such a small town, we walked over to the doctor's office, who was out to lunch. And so then we walked over to the vet's office, because I figured they should know how to do something while we're waiting for somebody. They were out to lunch with the doctor. So then we went over to the fire department, and we had to pull the bell for the volunteer fire department. So then the volunteer fire department came, and they got in the ambulance, and we drove to Port Huron, which was probably a good 20-25 minute drive away. And when we got to the hospital, the nurse said, well, how did you hurt your head? And he said, my mother pushed me into a rack. So social services was called. And they took Jimmy away one way, and they took me out the other way. And it wasn't, it was because the manager of the store had called ahead to let them know we were coming, that he explained the situation. So my Jimmy, I love him. Always been a trial. But I wouldn't trade him for the world. All right, let's go see hopefully a pound. Well, I did better than I thought. I lost 2 pounds. I was only hoping for a pound, but I lost 2 pounds. So it brings my total loss of 68.6. I'm 8.4 away from my highest, which was 77 pounds. But now I weigh 235.6. And this is the best day ever, because I lost 2 pounds. I was hoping for just a pound, and I got 2. So we have to go over to Kohl's, because I have to get, I have some Kohl's cash that I have to spend. And then I have to go to the store and get some birthday cards, because I got birthdays this month. And then go home and stay on track. So I'll see you guys at breakfast time. Okay, time for breakfast. I'm going to have a couple pieces of French toast, banana, and 2 slices of bacon, a cup of tea, and a glass of water. I started my day with a prayer. I drank 50 ounces of water. My quote is, attitude determines whether you succeed or fail. It's a 7-point breakfast, 1 point for, oh, did you notice my points went down, 23. Because I lost 2 pounds, and so now I'm getting to the 23 points instead of 24. 1 point for 2 slices of center cut bacon, 3 points for 2 slices of multigrain bread, 1 point for a 1/4 cup of sugar-free syrup, 2 points for a tablespoon of whipped butter, and 0 for my banana, tea, and water. 7 points. I still have 16 points left. Okay, on the Pinch Me box the other day, I got some these little chocolates, and I tried to figure out how many points it was, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So if anybody can tell me how many points these are, because I am going to eat it right now and let you know how I like it. Here's the back. I don't know if that helps anybody. But as I'm trying the different products, I'll let you know how I like it. So this is what it looks like. Let's see how it tastes. Well, the cookie itself, it's good. Who am I kidding? It's good. The cookie tastes like a Lorna Doone, like a shortbread cookie. It's very good. And chocolate. Chocolate's chocolate. But it's French chocolate, so it's better than cheap chocolate. It's very rich. It's very, very rich. I really shouldn't eat the other half. Oh, how'd that happen? That wasn't right. It's very good. I'm just glad there was just 2 little ones that they gave me because I could see me eating the whole batch. But I would give it a thumbs up. 1 out of 10. I'd give it a 10. It's very good. It's a cookie square baked in France. Okay, do I have anybody in France that's on Weight Watchers? You can tell me how many points that is, because I'm really interested. Maybe even Belgium. I know I've got people in Belgium. Let me know. Okay, we're going to eat dinner now. We're going to have a wellness wrap with some turkey, spinach, and guacamole dip, tomato, cucumber, and some pickles, iced tea. It's an 8-point dinner. 1 point for my extreme wellness wrap, 1 point for 2 ounces of turkey, 3 points for a slice of provolone, 3 points for my holy guacamole, and 0 for my tea, my cucumber, the tomato, the spinach, and the pickles. 8 points. I still have 8 points left. As you know, I had that cookie that I tested, so we don't know how many points that was. So I think I'm pretty close to my daily allotment for the day.
Denise, you need to come a little closer to me.
Why?
Because Sandy's overwhelming you.
Well, my arm only goes so far.
There we go.
Oh, I look terrible.
We just get out of the pool.
Yeah.
Yes, I have to wear
Denise
my hat
didn't want to be on it.
My hair is.
No, I didn't say I didn't want to be in it. You wanted me to sit down over there. That would have been longer, and I'm done. I'm getting eaten alive. That's why they love me. And these people, they don't bite at all.
No, they land. They say,
and I get eaten alive, and I don't want to have multiple.
We got to go to the next person.
Multiple mosquito bites. No.
That would be her.
All Mary did was sit in a float around. Denise
I was in the pool, though.
We worked out.
I was in the pool. I worked out, too, because, you know, I was...
We had to keep
floating
out of our way.
Get out of our way.
Because we would walk one way and then we'd get a real good current going and then we'd turn around and walk against it.
Yeah.
I was your workout.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, because you had to use that arm to push me away, so you had to work those arms.
Although our favorite part was when Mary stuck to the
Oh, that hurt. You know when you stick to the chair and then, woo, doggy.
If you were in the water, that wouldn't have happened.
I was in the water.
No, you weren't. Your butt was in the water.
That was my back, my arms.
That was about it.
That's a killer. Yes, for sure.
All right.
Adios. Have a good night.
Alligator. Okay, that's about it for tonight. It really wasn't warm enough to go in the pool. But Denise and Mary wanted to go in the pool, so we went in the pool, and the sun has gone down. It's about 8:30, and I'm a little chilled. Chilled to the bone, I'm telling you. I find that the more weight I lose, which is not going to stop me, let me tell you right off from the get-go, the more weight I lose, the colder I am. And it seems strange. I remember, I'll tell you a quick story before I go. When I was working, there was this one girl, and she was always cold. She was like this teeny tiny little girl that probably weighed 100 pounds. And at the time, I probably was 300 pounds. And we controlled our own heat in our particular part of the building because it was an add-on part of the building where I worked, and it didn't have heat ducts, and so they put a special little heater in there. But you had to climb up on a ladder to turn it on and off. And she would inevitably climb up there every single day and kick that heat up to 75, 78 degrees. It was so flippin' hot. I couldn't stand it. And then she'd get down and I'd put up with it for about 15 minutes, and then I'd climb up there and I'd turn it back down to 70, which was, I thought, comfortable. And then the other two girls, they didn't care one way or the other. And we used to battle all the time because she was very lazy. She didn't do her share of the work. I don't know, she didn't last long, let me just say. But anyway, we both got called into the supervisor's office, and we had to reach a compromise. And so she wanted to set the thing at 78, and I wanted to set it at 70. So they felt that the compromise was 75. Well, no, I think the compromise would have been 74, which still would have been too hot, but we settled on 75. And she complained constantly about how cold it was in there, and I complained constantly about how hot it was. Well, see, now that I'm losing weight, I can understand. She didn't have any blood in her bones. She didn't have any muscle or anything. She didn't have anything to keep her warm. So that's why. Anyway, she was a nice enough girl. She just was a complainer. She complained about everything. And at one point, we used to open mail, and we just got so fed up with her that we each took our own tray of mail, and she would complain because she had so much mail. You have just as much as everybody else, but then when she saw how much work she had to really do, she quit because she was just kind of coasting before then. But, and then on my video, my Weight Watchers meeting highlights today, I forgot to tell everybody how much I weighed. That I had lost 2 more pounds, and so I've lost a total of 68.6 pounds now. So I'm 8.4 pounds from my 77 pounds that I lost last year on September 1st. And so I want to get back to that just so I can say that I didn't gain any weight for the year. Although I did. I gained and I lost, and I gained and I lost. But, oh, there's Denise. She's saying goodbye. Goodbye. So Denise is going home now. And then, so I was getting ready to show it, and then my son Jimmy came because he was doing some work on my basement because he's putting some ceiling tiles in. We're putting a drop ceiling in the basement. And I'm filming that so you get to see the before and after once he's all done. And so I got distracted, and so I didn't show it. But I did lose 2 pounds. You saw that earlier. Okay, probably, well, I know I will be recording on my way to church tomorrow because we have a happy anniversary tomorrow that I have to sing to. And I don't know if I got a birthday. I have to check on my birthday calendar. But anyway, I will see you guys in the morning.